In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I transformed this Nissan Note from such a cheap car from British car auctions into a fantastic profit. So stay tuned because I'm going to show you exactly how I added some value to this Nissan Note to make a serious profit on this one. So without further ado, let me show you this Nissan. So let's start on the exterior of the Nissan Note, and on first impressions, for £275 bid hammer price, it is looking pretty good. There are a few little things which I'm going to point out to you very shortly, but overall you can just see it needs a good old clean. Some faint hairline scratches along the door and across the rear quarter here. You can see probably some child has gone with a key over that, but it is an old car. You're not going to expect it to be in pristine condition, being a 2007 car. Going around the back as well, you can see we've got two little dents across the boot over there. So one on this side, we've got a matching one over there. So it's always good to have things in pairs. Down on this side as well, we've got a bit of a scuff on the rear bumper. It is very minor, probably has gone into the paint on this side, but it's nothing I'm going to need to worry about because of the age and the value of the car. But looking down the side over here, you can see it is in pretty good condition. There are no major dents at all on this car. So someone has kept this car in relatively good condition, apart from that front bumper, which I will now show you the situation with this. So it's only cosmetic, but we've got quite a bit of severe lack appeal going on. Tyres are all pretty good as well. We have got a mix of sort of branded tyres on there. I think we've got a Continental on the other side, a Bridgestone here, but they're not all the same brands. However, they are in very good condition. So interior wise, it just needs a good old scrub. You can see, especially on the seats over there, there is quite a bit of stainage, and more so on the driver's seat, but the carpets are in good condition. Another nice thing to see as well, we've got not only one, but we've got two layers of mat. So someone obviously did like to protect the carpet underneath, which should be in pristine condition as it is, but of course it's going to get scrubbed, it's going to get valeted. We're going to make it look a lot better than what it is at the moment. Steering wheel does have some wear to it, but you're going to expect this on the mileage this car is now, especially with this age. The headlining again could do with a bit of a clean. So I'll see if the valet guys can do something about just tidying this up. That's probably just from kids in the car, have just been messing about and putting stuff onto the roof or kicking their feet. But once it's all valeted and cleaned up, we're going to see a big difference on those seats. Let's check the rears as well. Yeah, and the rears definitely better than what the fronts are, but you still can pick up there are a lot of stains across these seats, probably where children have been sat in this car. Again, we've got the double mats in the back. Again, nice thing to see, someone has really taken care and looked after this car. Lovely picnic tables on this car as well, with a little cup holder, and we've got plenty of storage. You've got one, two, and a little zip on the side to extend it. So it is an ideal practical family car for a small family. So hopefully that gives you an idea of the current state of the exterior and the interior. Let's jump in, take for a drive down to the car wash and see how this car drives. So how does this cheap £275 Nissan Note drive? Do you know what? Pleasantly well. It's a very nice car to drive. It's just done over 100,000 miles, 17 years old, but it's a Nissan. They're always good, reliable cars to drive, and they do age quite well when it comes to things like reliability. So first impressions, the car is driving lovely. But why did I buy this car, you know, with a flaky bumper, a little bit tatty around the edges? Why did I choose this car? Well, I've already told you, it was serviced and it was recently MOT'd. So those are two massive plus points, and expenses as well that you have to think about when you're buying something from the auction. With the older cars as well, it's more of a peace of mind if the car has recently been MOT'd, because it just gives you a bit more faith and an insight into that car. But even more so on this car, it was MOT'd about a month ago, but it actually failed on quite a few things. And the good thing to see is it failed on things like brake discs and brake pads, which have now been replaced. So we've got brand new front discs on the front and brake pads. Again, only going to add value to when I come to sell this car, because it just means that there is less maintenance for the next owner who is going to be buying this car. So yeah, I got a little bit lucky because the car was a failure and then it passed, but at the same time, it should have gone for more money in my opinion, because the car is sort of ready to go. It needs a good old clean inside, but it's kind of ready to go. The other reason why I like this car is the service history was reasonably good as well. So of course, like, it had just been serviced, but prior to that, the car does come with quite a good amount of service history, which is a massive plus point on a cheaper car. When you are buying something at this price bracket, things like 2 keys and service history are a bit of a bonus. Equally for a customer as well, when they are buying something at, you know, your £1,000 to £1,500 price point, these things come as a bit of a luxury, I want to say, at that price point. So it is good to see when you have good service history on a car at this price point. So that is another reason why I wanted to go for this specific car. Things like the paint flaking on the bumper, it's not a deal breaker to me. Again, more so because of the price point of this car. I don't see it being a big issue when I do come to sell this car, so I'm not going to be looking to do any paint work to this car. This is all about buying a cheap car that's effectively almost ready for sale and seeing how much profit we can make on this car from just basically getting the car valeted. So that is the plan of action on this car. We're actually on our way now to the car wash to leave it with them just to give it a once over inside. It's not terrible in here, but it will definitely benefit from getting a valet done to the car because the seats have some stainage on there. And even though, because of the price point of the car, I still like to do things like getting the interior all cleaned up because it just gives a nice first impression. You know, whoever is going to be driving this car, you're spending your time sat in here, not outside looking at the front bumper where the paint is flaking. So it is important and well worth doing these things, even on the cheaper cars. So that is the plan of action on this car for getting it ready for sale. Of course, once we have got it cleaned up and ready for sale, I'll give you a quick walkthrough again just to show you how the car is looking ready for retail. And then of course, once we have got this car ready for sale, we'll get into all those numbers and talk about exactly how much this car has cost me to buy it with the fees, getting it ready for sale, but more importantly, how much I can sell this car for. And if I have sold this car before the video goes out, I'll let you know the exact sale price of this car, so we can look at how easy can it be to buy a cheap car from the auction like this with minimum work to get it ready for sale, to see how much profit we can actually make on a car like this. So make sure you stay tuned, guys, but I'm going to see you in a couple of days once this car is ready for sale. So I'll catch you then. Car now is ready for sale, so let me give you a walk around of the exterior, but more importantly the interior, because nothing drastically has changed other than getting the car washed in the exterior. So I'm not going to bore you with getting into any specifics or details on the exterior, but just wanted to have a quick show for you to see how the car is now looking in its ready for sale state on the exterior as well. But like I said, more importantly, let's jump inside. Let me show you the difference that £50 valet has made to this car. So, having a quick glance inside, you can see it is much cleaner than what it was before. I do have the mats which are nicely cleaned in the boot of the car. Some of them are still left out to dry, but we'll get those put back in when it's actually being sold. But just having a quick look at the seats, much better than what they were before. You still have a little bit of stainage over there and just one or two marks up there, so I might have to give those a little bit of a scrub myself, but compared to what it was before, it is looking much more presentable. And just generally speaking, it is a lot more fresh and cleaner inside. A lot of the dust and debris and just that general smell of, you know, like an old car you get, that's all gone now. So I'm very happy on spending the money to get the car clean. But let me show you the rears as well. Now the rears are looking very nice. It wasn't too bad again to begin with in the first place, but you can see carpets, back of the seats, door cards, and the actual upholstery on the rear bench is looking very nice. So in all honesty, you can see how the car is now looking, both in the exterior and the interior, and it's money well spent. But let's get into the topic of money. We're going to talk about how much the car costs to get it ready for sale, and more specifically, how much profit there is in this car. So let's get into exactly how much this car cost me and how much I actually sold this car for, because I did say if it has sold, I will let you know, and this car did sell very quickly. So the car cost £275 on the hammer price, and of course, as always, there are some fees, quite the extortionate fees, but there are fees to pay. That meant the total cost of this car from the auction was actually £442. Now, there isn't a lot of other costs to get into other than getting the car valeted, which was £50, and getting the car advertised, which was just around £25. So that means the total cost of this Nissan Note, getting it bought, getting it prepped and getting it advertised for sale, was £517. For a car that's just been serviced, just been MOT'd, in reasonably good condition and drove fantastic, cheap car, definitely going to make a good profit for sure. And that is the case with this one. So I advertised it for $13,950. The car was listed for approximately, I'm going to say about 6 days. It sold very quickly, and I sold the car at the asking price, which meant I made a profit of £878. Considering we're dealing with the cheaper end of the market, which can be risky, there can be a lot more work involved, that is a substantial profit margin. £275 hammer price with fees, 442. realistically, margin wise, it is very, very good. So even though we're dealing with small numbers in terms of sale prices, it just goes to show there is profit to be made on a car. If you can see value to be added, or you can see there is profit margin in the car, go for it. Yes, there can be more problems, can be headaches. Sometimes you'll buy a bad car, maybe need to scrap it. But when you're buying cars at this price point, the risk is different. It's not so much as a financial risk, it's more of a problematic car, wasting your time. Hopefully that gives you an idea on the type of money you can make on these cars. As always guys, do it with caution, do your homework. Not every car is going to be like this. There are a lot of bad cars in auctions as well, so please be careful if you are looking to get into this business. It's very, very easy to lose money, so always do your homework and double check everything. But I hope you've enjoyed today's video guys, and I hope it's been a good insight. And as always guys, please don't forget to smash up the like button, share the video and subscribe if you haven't to the channel already for plenty more content on buying and selling cars from auctions. Follow me on all my socials as well. I'll pop them on the screen now, which is at Buysellcars TV. Lots of content on TikTok and Instagram, so hit me up on those socials. But other than that guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Take care guys.